Every generation faces different challenges and criticism that past generations may not understand. How do we support our young people and help guide them to bright futures? Joining us to explore and offer insight on this topic are high school students Serenity and Jaron. I know that you both are in high school. Jaron, you are a junior, so you're kind of on that verge of figuring out college, what do you want to do for a career, and you're really interested in culinary. I know that not everybody has the luxury of automatically knowing this is what I want to do when I get out of high school. So how were you so sure of culinary?
So originally I wasn't. I originally wanted to go to Western New England University so I can major in business. And then I genuinely thought about it for like a couple of minutes. I was like, I can't imagine myself working in an office for the rest of my life. I can't do that. And then I thought of something that like I've always loved to do. I love to cook. And then culinary just popped into my head, and I'm like, there's a lot of places I can go with culinary. I can open a restaurant in Springfield. I can open a restaurant around the world. I can work at restaurants. I can do whatever. And culinary, it allows me to express myself through food and make other people happy.
I wanted to bring up, too, because we had a conversation. You did a media internship this past year in 2018. You did a media internship that kind of changed your life. It was eye-opening for you. In what way was that?
It was eye-opening because at that, it wasn't just working at a radio station. It was learning more about myself and learning how I can tackle life's issues, because life's going to come with issues. And before this, I just thought, I would just shrug it off. But by going to this internship, the director taught me that I can fight it head on. I can react to it in not a respectful way or not a correct way, or I can just run away from it. And through that internship, I learned that I want to tackle it head on instead of just running away.
And Serenity, you have what I want to call a good problem, right? You have a lot of options that you want to go down that you haven't decided yet, and they could all come together eventually. So talk to me a little bit about that.
Well, many of the options are mainly based on my main interests, and one of my biggest interests is art. Art has been a part of my life for a really long time. I'm self-taught. Recently, just last year, I was hired at Six Flags as a caricature artist, and I grabbed onto that art style very quickly, and I want to keep up with that and hopefully get big for it, because many caricature artists do get big at some point. I don't want to stop just at caricatures. I want to do maybe children's book illustrations, comic book illustrations, and maybe, just maybe, the possibilities there, a Disney animator. I heard it's hard, but I'm determined.
Really cool, though,
really determined. Anything in the art field, anything, because art just has always stuck with me. I'm naturally a very creative person. I can create anything out of nothing.
And I know that you are interested in doing some internships in the next years to come. Do you feel that that's a great resource for you to have as a young person in high school trying to figure out your future?
The reason why I feel that it's good that we have internships is because you get to dabble into something that may interest you. So let's say you're interested in the medical field. There's an internship at Bay State that you can do. It's called BSEP. And once you do that, if you realize, hey, maybe this isn't for me, there's plenty more internships that you can do, so you can dabble inside of what interests you, and then you can learn about what you really want to do with your life.
Yeah, I think that's really interesting. I started an internship here, actually, when I was right out of high school, and I kind of already knew this is what I wanted to do, but I always said that the internship was the best thing that happened to me because it really confirmed my passion. I know that there's also a lot of negative stereotypes that young people have on their shoulders today. Talk to me a little bit about those stereotypes that you have been faced with, and how do you prove people wrong? You're ready to talk, yeah.
Yes. I was thought of, not having a future. I was thought of, I wouldn't really do that good. But now I'm I have a job, I have a car, I have great grades in school, I'm trying my hardest in everything I do, and I'm proving all those stereotypes wrong, and I'm able to fight against that. Not just because of my hard work, but due to my parents' hard work and all of them, everybody in my family believing in me and all that. So with them, I'm able to fight against the stereotypes. And also there's a a lot of stereotypes, like for males in Springfield, that, we don't really have a bright future because there's not really a lot of job opportunities here. But I want to be able to fight against that, grab that stereotype, throw it away, and do something with my life that can hopefully inspire future generations to come.
How do you think, Serenity, we can change, or youth, even the media, can change the representation of the youth in today's world?
I think what can be done is to show the positive sides of it. For example, social media doesn't always have to be bad. You can get in contact with friends or even teachers or coworkers when you need to know about certain work, certain assignments, if you need help and can't exactly get it anywhere else. Social media also helps. Like, it doesn't just have to be Instagram and Facebook. It could be certain apps with education. I use an app called Socratic. It helps with my homework if I'm like really stuck on something and nobody else is available. There's other apps that help you test for a permit. I'm hopefully going to get one soon when I turn 16. So there's a lot to phones that can help you.
I think that's really important too, because you guys are kind of born with that benefit. You guys have been born into technology and it's natural to you. And a lot of people just focus on the negative social media, but there's ways that you can use it to be beneficial for you. And what ways do you use it, Jaron?
I mainly use social media to contact friends and to like see other parts of the world that I haven't seen through like my eyes. I can like see other people's story, and that's like one thing I learned at Media Lab too, is that I get to hear other people's story and I want to know what story everybody's telling. So through social media I'm able to see what story someone's telling through their Instagram page, Snapchat, anything like that. And the way I use social media once again is like to show my story, to show my friends that, hey, this is pretty cool, you guys should hop on this.
And speaking a little bit about the negatives of social media, because you can't talk about the positives without the negatives, right? It's also a benefit for you guys to have, but it's a different world that a lot of adults don't understand, and the pressure that you see on social media. So how do you two personally deal with that pressure and that negative side of social media?
The negative side of social media can consist of many things, whether it's portraying high beauty standards or people bashing on your ideas for certain things. The best way I handle anything is to just ignore it, because it's on social media. You're not here with me, harming me physically. Why should I let it harm me emotionally?
Sometimes I feel like adults forget what it was like to be young, right? And they want to help, but they might get in the way. So how do you wish that adults could be more helpful? Like, what can they do, or what can they not do even, to help you kind of in your future and right now in your present?
I love my mom with all my heart. She's the most amazing lady ever. Dearest, all right? She has those mom goggles. She believes everything I do is perfect. And sometimes I wish she can just, be real with me. Sometimes just say, hey, that's wrong. What you did there wasn't good. Yesterday I made a batch of cookies. Terrible, okay? And she was all like, oh, these are really good. I'm like, no, they aren't. They're trash. I need you to tell me that, okay?
One thing that I would like some adults to know is that their kids do get tired. Yes, parents obviously have to work, support, they clean up after their kids, but sometimes school can be really stressful. And if it's school on top of sports, on top of stress, on top of social life, on top of work, it can get very tiring sometimes, and sometimes us kids need a break.
Despite all the negative stereotypes we see or hear about young people, we must look past it and realize they are not all the same. There are some really amazing things being done by our young people, as we heard in today's conversation. Each generation brings a different perspective, and we have to remember that we can all learn from each other. Stay tuned for more on Presencia.